ones and twos. And I just come here to let y'all know it's about to get real filthy in this mother.
It is late. I know you mentioned it's past your bedtime, so no, I'm kidding. All right, welcome to episode 47 of In Todd We Trust. You can access the website now at itwtpodcast.com for spoiler-free one-sentence reviews, movie ratings, episode descriptions, song of the week playlist, movie soundtrack playlist, and submission form to be a guest on the show. You can listen to the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as watch on YouTube on Thursdays. So, today we have Amanda on the podcast. How are you doing, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. This is my first time, I believe, seeing you out of work clothes in your uniform. I was nervous that you're going to show up in your all red to to the podcast, but you did dress out of it. So
I did.
I know you at least have one other outfit now.
I do. That is not, my main color.
Yeah, right.
So don't always want to be stuck wearing that color.
It's bright, right? Anything bright, yellow, yellow, red, something like that, where it's just like in your face. And those aren't my colors.
Yeah.
I'm more of a dark color guy. You have to beat Brittany and Katie as far as their podcast episodes.
Oh.
So they were on, and we gotta see if got what it takes to one up their episodes. So they both did a pretty good job. So
I'm pretty sure I got what it takes.
I know you're competitive. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So Amanda is the aunt to a amazing little pup that I have a personal connection with. I made a personal connection. I hope I see her again soon. How is she doing?
She is doing well. Little Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy's awesome.
She's learned new tricks.
Yeah. So
every time I go over and see her, she has a new trick. She will jump into your arms on command now.
What?
So, yeah.
That's amazing. What's the command? Do you just say jump into my... Do you just put your arms out?
Nope. My sister will stand across the room and she'll call her and then she'll do two little claps.
Yeah.
And Lucy will just jump into her arms flying leap.
That's amazing. Is she getting any bigger?
A little bit, not too much bigger.
She's a good size.
Yeah.
She's a good size right now. I think last time I saw her was the preview party, which was in July or something like that.
Oh yeah. She came to the last one. I fed her first donut.
Yes.
She loves donuts.
Yes. Was it the Yates?
No, they were just store-bought donuts. But
we need to get the premium stuff for Lucy.
Yates donuts are so good.
She deserves it. I still haven't had it, but I need to make my way there.
Yeah, let me know when you go, and I'll take you.
Oh yeah, I know. I saw you all had a field trip there, so I was kind of upset that I missed that. It was after my time, yeah. But I was sad about that when I saw that. Okay, one other thing I was gonna mention about you being out of your uniform. It actually hurts me that I haven't seen you out of your uniform because you and Brittany have gone out around Detroit, around my apartment multiple times. And then you tell me after the fact, yo, yeah, we were just down there. And I'm like, wow, you could have told me, you could have hit me up.
We are planning to go out soon. I will text you the night of.
That's what you always say.
It will happen this time. I can guarantee it.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. If I see on your stories or something like that you're out, and if it's during the time I'll post it 3 minutes ago, I'm gonna show up and just stand and just stare at you guys. And just
well, we're gonna start bringing Katie and Olivia out with us, so
okay.
it'll be
so you don't need
so
me.
much fun.
You don't need me.
Oh no, you're more than welcome to come.
Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna hold you to that. So, do you have a song of the week?
I do. It took me so long to figure out what I wanted.
Do you just want it to be something? Okay, here's the thing, and not to put words in your mouth, it could have been difficult for another reason, but I always think I want to be a good representation of me. So that's always the thing too. What am I listening to, but also what do I want to put out there in the public? And I get to come up with a different one each week. But my guests, you get one shot, so you don't want to say Baby Shark or something like that. So if it's Baby Shark, I don't want to stop you from saying it, but.
No, it is Another Sad Love Song by Khalid.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm just feeling it. I really like the song. I like the vibe.
Is this on the new album?
It's on the American Teen album.
That's the first one. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've had a Khalid song as my song of the week. Obviously, very talented singer. So solid pick.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is Geology by Barry. They're a newer indie pop band. Just came out with their first full album this year. I've had some singles before that. They're pretty solid. It's been my jam all year, really. Like, it's not a newer song that I just discovered, but I heard it. I was at a trivia night with one of my friends this past Friday, and we were at her friend's house or whatever, and he was playing the Geology album, and or I'm sorry, not Geology, the Berry album, and heard the song, so now I like re-fell in love with it again. I was like, oh, like, so then this whole week I've been listening to that album now. So yeah, that's my song of the week. Clover, also off of that album, is a jam too. So definitely worth checking out. Real chill vibes. Someone might call it elevator music. I don't care, but it's pretty good. Nice. Next, we have random rapid fire questions. You ready?
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be.
Right. All right. Here we go. Could you wear all black every day?
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say I knew that was gonna be yes, and then you came in black, so that's even better. Would you rather have the power to fly or to control plants?
I would rather fly.
Okay, that's actually I don't know what I'd choose with that one, but I feel like if you control plants, then you probably want to live like not in the city. So that's the thing.
I feel like if you could fly, you could go anywhere. Plus, you wouldn't have to worry about traffic.
Ooh, or plane tickets.
Exactly.
So that's probably a big one there. I like to travel. So, would you rather be a Disney princess or a Disney villain?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with princess.
You know, and I had down here, she's probably gonna say villain because you always look mad. You're very friendly. You're a very friendly person, but if someone just catches you, just like in your natural state, you look very intimidating.
I have been told that a time or two.
Yeah.
People tell me to smile.
Yeah, just smile more. So yeah, Disney princess, who may look like a villain, but no, I'm kidding. If someone put a curse on you, who would be the number one suspect?
Probably one of my sisters. Honestly.
They have it out for you?
Well, we're sisters. It could
That's
be,
true.
A matter of I'm wearing one of their shoes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're put to sleep for 15 years. There
yeah.
If someone, I already asked you that. Would you prefer to live in nature or in a castle?
In nature.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought you'd say castle.
No.
I'd like to live in nature, but like give me a bomb house in nature.
Yeah.
Like surrounded by everything else. Like
yeah.
You see those houses in like Switzerland, it's like just like mountains and they're like in a valley. It's like Sound of Music or something like that. Like that would be kind of like peaceful and calming.
Because you still have like that home and like a bed and stuff.
Right, yeah. I need that. I don't want to live in a tent. Let me clarify. I'm not trying to just sleep in the grass and a stump be like my pillow.
Yeah, no.
But yes, I'm with you on that. I was requested to ask this question. Corey or Eric?
Who requested you to ask it?
The person who knew you were gonna say their name.
Eric.
Yeah. That's amazing. And that's who said it. Who requested it. Go-to slushy flavor.
I like just Diet Coke or the Coca-Cola, and then sometimes I'll do the Coca-Cola and the wild cherry. Regular.
That's a good mix. That's always a classic mix.
Yeah.
If you had to rewatch the same movie for the rest of your life, what would it be?
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
It's a good one.
I love that movie.
That's a good movie. Classic rom-com.
Yeah.
Classic-ish. All right. So, heading into the movie, I want to get something off my chest. I mentioned it not mention this specifically, but mention an issue with Imagine Theaters last week in my episode. So I love Imagine Theaters. Probably my favorite movie chain. All the theaters have recliner seats. This is good. They're usually really clean theaters. This is cool. Just cool theater, good rewards program. Anyway, last week I talked about the movie starting 28 minutes late. So I sat in the theater, first showing of the day, 10 a.m. in the morning in Royal Oak. And that one's probably my favorite Imagine. So it was I've never had an issue there before. And I lie to you not, like we sat in the theater and the movie just didn't start for 28 minutes. Then it started and then the previews played without any music. They played the Star Wars preview without any music, and then the movie just abruptly started. And they came in, hey, so sorry, and I was really upset about not being like compensated. Like, hey, here's a free movie, here's some free snacks to like
make
for your trouble.
For it.
Exactly, but we didn't get that. I didn't complain. I was like, I'm not a huge like complainer, so as long as I get the product still, like if they would have been like, hey, no movie, it sucks, then I'd be like, hey, all right, I need a voucher or something. Since I still watched the movie, I wasn't really in a rush to get anywhere that day. It was whatever, but I was upset about it. Anyway, move to this week. the lights in the theater. So the lights, like when the movie ends and like they're like in their clean. So there's like almost 3 lighting options in theaters. And again, for someone who goes to the theaters all the time, like you notice this stuff. But again, you can relate. You go to the theater, it's
I know
lights
what
on.
you're talking
You know what
about.
I'm talking about. The lights
Yeah.
are on, and then they dim the lights.
Yeah, for the previews.
Exactly.
Then they dim them again for the actual movie.
Exactly. So the initial light, not even the dim for the previews, the initial light was on the entire movie. So
What?
it was just me and one other lady in the theater. So she got up. So I was banking on her going and complaining, so I didn't have to get up and miss any of the movie.
Yeah.
Because the movie had already started. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna dim them in any second now. They just don't dim them. So she gets up, she goes and complains. She's like, hey, I just went and told them that the lights are up, so hopefully they're coming back in here. So this is like we're talking. I don't even know if we start the movie. Yeah, we were probably 5 minutes into the movie. Sure enough, no one came in, and I didn't want to miss any of the movie, especially since I was doing a podcast on it. So I just was like, I'll suck it up. I'm just sitting in here with the lights on. So went through the whole movie. After the movie, went out there in the lobby, and I was upset, but at the same time, I'm like, again, I already got the product. When I get the product, I'm like, I don't really, I'm just not a huge complainer. Like, if it didn't really ruin my day, like, what am I going to do now? I don't want to, whatever. No one did it intentionally, so whatever. So she goes out there, and she's like, hey, can I speak to a manager? And she is really polite. Hey, can I speak to a manager? Older lady. The guy comes and is like, hey, I'm the manager. She's like, hey, the lights were on the whole time in the theater. And she's like, I'm not gonna like complain or ask for it. She said, it would be nice to have a refund, but like, I mean, that's just unacceptable.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, he's like, yeah, I saw that they were on like a couple minutes ago. And she's like, well, yeah, like they didn't, and they went off. So add insult to injury, the lights went off right before the closing scene. Like, I mean, they were like, the lights were off for like 30 seconds total. Like, they went off right before the movie ended, and they went on. So something was wrong with the system. Yeah. So it was like almost like they just disrespected us with turning them off then. So he goes like, oh yeah, they're off. She's like, yeah, I don't want to like, I don't want to make a big fuss about it, but like that's just unacceptable. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, and walks away. And she just was like, whatever, and it's like, and left. Again, not really nice lady. I just stood around.
Say sorry.
He didn't say sorry. I sat there and just watched the whole interaction because I was being like nosy. If she was about to, if they were like, yeah, we're gonna give you $100 gift card, I'd be like, well, I was in there too.
Yeah, you wanted that $100 gift card.
Yeah, so I'll just let her go on and do the dirty work. But neither of us got anything. So imagine, and this was at a different Imagine. This one was in Farmington Hills. So I'm like, imagine what's happening. Like, I'm a proud supporter of Imagine. Yeah. I actually got this movie free because I have so many reward points. So, and I have like a couple other free movies on my reward account and some free snacks. So my thing is, obviously I go, like, I'm a staunch supporter, but like, all right, come on guys, like, you gotta do better than that. And I actually know the other, like, the top managers over there because it's by the Farmington Hills Club. So we've done like some partnerships with them. So I'm like, yo, I should just like get your name and just like really hold on you. Yeah, really get you pressed, but I'm not gonna do that, like, whatever. Anyway, on to good news. NBA starts tonight. I don't know if you're an NBA fan, but here, do you like LeBron? That's really cool. Amanda, do you want to be on the
I'm not that big into basketball.
Okay,
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, I support the Pistons.
Okay, yep, you're from Detroit. That's fair. All right, that's fair.
I'll go to a Pistons game.
There you go.
But I'm not,
you're not super invested.
Yeah.
That's fair. It does start tonight, and LeBron is back, baby. 10:30 tonight. Clippers versus Lakers. So hyped up about that.
Are you a LeBron fan?
Huge LeBron fan. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So wherever he goes is where I go. Shameless.
I can be a LeBron fan for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. For the sake of the podcast, you can be a LeBron fan. All right. So getting into the movie description on IMDb, Maleficent and her goddaughter Aurora begin to question the complex family ties that bind them as they are pulled in different directions by impending nuptials, unexpected allies, and dark new forces at play. Wow, that is an in-depth bio. That's pretty good. I actually met a little girl named Aurora while doing outreach with Laura Stein. We went out one day in Sterling Heights, and it was a little girl in like a T-Mobile or something like that, and she was just like running amok. Like, it was one of those like the parents just don't control their kids. So she's just like jumping around and everything. So she like picks her nose and then like touches Laura's pants, and like it was like the most gross thing ever. But that's what I thought of when
Laura do?
She played it cool. She played it cool in there, and then when we walked out, she was like, that was so gross. And the girl was like, as they're leaving, Laura's like, all right, bye, have a good one. The girl's like, bye, weirdo. Like, the girl was just bad. Like, she's just a bad girl. She's probably like 4 or 5 years old. Really bad girl. But anyway, she's like, that was so gross. Like, she touched my pants right after she picked her nose. But while we were in there, I was like, "Oh, did you name your daughter after Sleeping Beauty?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's where it came from." So me being a huge Disney nerd, so yeah, so I recognize the name. But anyway, movie was released October 18th, this past Friday. Notable cast: Angelina Jolie, obviously. Elle Fanning. I did not know that was Dakota Fanning's little sister.
Oh yeah.
No idea. Michelle Pfeiffer, and I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the Black Rasta Fairy.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he. I don't know how to pronounce his
name.
I know.
I was looking.
He's
at
in
his
stuff.
name.
He's in a lot of stuff. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I'm not even gonna mess it up. Starts with a C though, and yeah. So director Joachim Ronning. The O in Ronning has like that slash through it, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know if it's Ronning, whatever. He also did Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. And then writer we have Micah Fitzgerald Blue, who also did A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, which is coming out later this year with Tom Hanks, which I've talked about on the podcast before. Super excited for that. Runtime for this movie, 1 hour and 58 minutes. So, going into the movie, what were your thoughts, expectations? I know we chatted a while ago about how we both love the original Maleficent that came out. Now it's been 5 years ago. So what were you thinking coming to this one?
I love like the story of Maleficent. I don't know what it is about it, but I just love that story. I love Sleeping Beauty, and I like her side of it too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Somebody mentioned that it wasn't as good as the first one, so going into it, I was like, okay, like expecting the worst, but I thought it was a good movie. I really did.
Yeah, I did too. And wait a second, I'm about to make sure this video's on. All right, we're back. Yeah, no, I agree. I think the movie was really good. I mean, I was expecting good things anyway. Nothing made me feel like, it was going to be less than the first one. But yeah, I do think that was kind of the notion. This one actually took a huge hit at the box office, not in a good way, but didn't do the numbers I think that they were expecting. Which it doesn't shock me too much because there's not a lot of I don't know if this film has like a ton of followers. Like Sleeping Beauty is an older. Sleeping Beauty is one of the first Disney movies to ever come out. I think it's from like maybe pre-50s. Maybe it came out like 40s or something like that. So it's an older Disney film that doesn't necessarily resonate with a ton of. Obviously, everyone knows the story for the most part, but for the general story, Prince kisses you whenever you wake up. But I don't think a lot of the kids.
Prince, it's your true love.
It's your true love. Sorry, yes, it's her true love. Yeah, in this film, we saw that it wasn't actually the prince that woke her up or the first one. But yeah, I think that this movie doesn't necessarily, or the story doesn't necessarily resonate so much with the younger generation. So they can't, or the Sleeping Beauty original. So they can't necessarily relate so much with the spinoff of it.
Yeah. For
me, I really like Sleeping Beauty. I actually I got a free copy of the Blu-ray of Sleeping Beauty like years ago when Blu-ray first came out. But yeah, I don't know why. I can't even remember how I got it. But anyway, yeah, so I really like, and I like Angelina Jolie, again, an actress that our generation, and I guess a generation above us, really enjoy. But again, kids today, you don't know Angelina Jolie at all.
I thought she did a really good job in
this
movie too.
Yeah, she's like perfect. She's perfect for it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I had high expectations for the movie because I really liked the first one, and I think it held up to it. I think Angelina Jolie's perfect casting. I think it's funny, she looks more like Maleficent than Maleficent does now. Like when I see like the cartoon, I'm like, that doesn't look like Maleficent.
I picture her as Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, she's gotten it down pat. Like I think it's just like a perfect casting. And I think it also matches like Angelina Jolie has somewhat of a cold, calculated exterior, / persona.
Yes.
Like that's kind of like her, like almost like a assassin or spy. She's played those roles before, but that's kind of how I view her. And I think that fits with like the villain who's misunderstood thing.
Yes.
Where she has this cold exterior, but obviously she's very loving. She raised, Aurora in the movie, and to the outside world because of this story this lie that's been spun about her. She's kind of like, I don't care. She doesn't really work too hard to dispel those rumors.
Yeah.
So because of that, she comes off as like this monster. And obviously her exterior is already, she's in all black. She has wings. She looks different. She has horns. So she looks evil. But yeah, no, I thought that she played it great. And Angelina Jolie has been somewhat MIA from the movie scene. We haven't seen her in a ton of things recently. I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say that the last Maleficent was the last time we've seen her in a major film.
Yeah, I think so.
Again, that was 2014. So for someone who's an A-list celebrity like her, A-list actress, that is shocking. And I guess with this one, the thing that shocked me a little bit because of the flop, so to speak, as far as numbers opening weekend, is that she's been away for so long. So I thought maybe some of her staunch Angelina Jolie supporters would be like, hey, we haven't seen her, I want to come out and see her again. So that's a little shocking. My favorite quote of the movie was don't ruin my morning. Like that, I want to get that on a t-shirt. Like that was like one of her first lines, and I want to get that. I feel like that would be like a great. Those t-shirts have to be made already. I'm actually gonna Google that.
I'll take one of them.
Yeah, right. Like an all black t-shirt and like green writing. I could totally see that being a shirt. And I feel like that all the time. Like just don't even give me like any bad news or wake me up really. I don't know about you, but I'm not a morning person.
So, I am kind of a morning person. I'm a morning person if I don't have to engage with other people.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Like, I like to wake up and do my thing, go to the gym, work out, but I don't want to have to talk to people. I don't want people to talk to me. I need to just,
zone out.
Bring myself back to life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it just takes me a while to get going in the morning. I was telling someone the other day, I don't hit my stride until about I was jokingly said 8 p.m. In college, that's what it was. Like in college, I didn't hit my stride till 7 o'clock at night. Like I would start class at 12. I'd be groggy, and then by 7 is when I was like, all right, I'm ready to get some things accomplished. And it's day's already over. But I would stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. Like I would stay up super crazy late. So that's when I got all my stuff done. But now even I don't hit my stride till 3. 3, I hit a crash at 2, so 2 to 3, I hit a crash, and then 3, I'm like, all right, I'm back in this thing, I'm ready to get it going.
It depends on the day for me, but I have that mid-afternoon crash, right after lunch.
Every time. I
want to go home and take a nap.
Yeah, it's over. 2 o'clock, I'm like, this day is last 3 hours. I'm just like, it's time to roll. So no, I definitely relate with that quote. When Maleficent told her that she wasn't really engaged, when she's like, I'm engaged, and she's like, no, you're not. That was really funny for me. That was one of my favorite parts. Have you ever dated someone that your parents didn't approve of?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you currently dating someone that your parents don't approve of?
No.
Okay,
no, I'm not currently.
Okay, good. All right. I'm about to say the way you answered that, I'm like, oh shoot, maybe the current boyfriend.
No, but others.
It
yes.
has, have you? That has to be tough. I've never dealt with that. Although I feel it's different too. As adults now, it's all right. I care what your opinion is. At the same time, I'm an adult. I'm not bringing. It's different when you're 15.
Well, and it's not that they never told me that I couldn't date them.
Right.
They just didn't want me to end up with that person.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they knew that it wasn't going to. That wasn't going to be the way that things ended up. So they never really pushed anything.
Right.
But I was told a time or two that they were not fond of the person that I was dating.
Of person X.
Yes.
What we'll call him, person X. No, that's funny. I think at this point, if I was dating someone who I was like, yeah, they're not going to like her. And if I knew, this is probably not going to, last that long, then I probably wouldn't even, introduce her. Yeah. Especially because my parents aren't. See, granted, your parents are around, you live where you grew up and stuff like that, so that it would be a little bit tougher for you to hide, not, I don't want to say hide a boyfriend, but
I mean, I hang out with my family, so it's important for people to get along and everyone to like each other.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think I would probably my parents always joke that they'll meet my wife on the wedding day, because I'm just very I don't even want to say secretive. That's not true, but just private and just I know what who you'll like. I know my family well enough, and obviously it is important for them to like them because you're marrying into that family too. But I think at this point it's all right, yeah, you'll meet her, but you might we might be dating for 6 months, and then it's oh yeah. So
my parents didn't meet my current boyfriend until we were dating for a while.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, I live where I grew up, but I don't see I don't go home that often. I live my own life.
Yeah.
Every time I go home, my parents ask me to come over more often. I feel bad. But.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, you're here too, so it's different. My parents live in Florida, so it's when I go, it's it's all in. You know what I mean? We're up talking late, and it's we're catching up, and it's it's a weekend.
My thing is, my mom should be happy that I don't need her every day, and I don't call her for things. She should be happy. I'm out there living my life, doesn't have to worry.
Right.
But instead, she's I haven't heard from you in 3 days. I'm like,
No,
Okay.
right? Yeah. I'm alive. I'm here. I'm down the street. Yeah. So I'll probably do the same stuff one day when we're parents. We'll probably do the same things.
Yeah.
When we have kids. So yeah, that's funny. The effects in this movie I thought were really good too. Like,
yes,
I thought the effects were really solid. And I think that I've had a lot of strong opinions about Disney live actions, whether it's been about ones that I've reviewed on here or if it's been just in conversation. But as far as the effects, I feel like they've done pretty well. The Aladdin, I wasn't fond of a lot of the effects. Like, they were just it was a lot trying to do with CGI. But this one has a lot of that too. I mean, whether like it's Maleficent's like green, like whatever power that comes out, or it was a lot of effects in this one.
Yeah.
And I thought it looked real. Like, whether it's the wings, like the fighting, all that looked pretty real.
Well, and all the other characters, like the fairies and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah. So you have a lot of what am I trying to say? A lot of aspects in this film where there's a lot of CGI in it.
Mm-hmm.
Same way with like Aladdin, but for whatever reason in this one, I think they just did a better job and it looked more organic, I guess I should say.
It did. I agree with that.
Also, from a costume standpoint, the prince, like, he had a different outfit like every 5 minutes. That dude, like, he was fresh. He was pretty fresh. He had, like, on his wedding day, he had this one outfit that I might get. Like, I might
the one
look it
that
up.
he wore for the wedding.
For the wedding, the one he wore for the wedding was pretty
outfit.
fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with that. And then he changed it to something else for like post wedding. Like, he had like she was still in her wedding gown, and like he was like, no, like, this is my this is like my balcony outfit. And he had a couple different outfits. So he had it pretty smooth this movie. Like, he maybe had like a total of like 60 seconds of turmoil, but outside of that, he was pretty cool this whole movie. Like, he wasn't really in any danger, and he was just like, oh, I just want to get married and I want everyone to like everyone.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of his thing. Going into this though, I did want to see, and through the movie, I did want to see, like, which we saw a bit of, Maleficent to start whooping people. Like, I just wanted to see her like bust the powers out and to start whooping everyone.
I did like that, when she comes in with that force and just takes control of everything and shows him who's boss.
Yeah, she wasn't messing around. I would obviously, she was my favorite character, but well, I was gonna say obviously there were a lot of cool, like, you come to like Aurora, there were some parts where she just pissed me off a lot of the movie, and a lot of the movie is the bad guys are winning, and then obviously you have the good guys come victorious at the end. But yeah, at the end, like, it just was like, it's kind of like chill, like you get kind of like goosebumps moments, like with Angelina Jolie at the end when she comes in, like swoops in and every day. Yeah, that was pretty dope. This is gonna, I knew it was gonna be one of those movies when I start watching that it was gonna like piss me off all the way until the end. When like I could saw that the mom was gonna be evil. Like,
my gosh, she was so
sucked.
evil. Yeah. I hated her.
Yeah, she was awful. Like, she sucked so much that it's people like that, and I think people like that do exist. Obviously they're evil people, and there's people like her where, like, I don't even get your end motive, because at first it's it seems as though she just has something out for Maleficent.
Exactly.
And then it was like, okay, it's more than Maleficent. It's all non-humans. And then it was like, it's all non-humans, and then any human that gets in my way, because then we see that she takes her husband out, which obviously, you've seen enough movies. We knew that she did something to her husband at dinner when she goes behind him and is like, oh, like, what did she do to you? Like, she's shady. But like, it was like all non-humans. Then it's like, all right, I'll take out even like my husband because he's in the way. Then it was like her son tried to stop her, and it was like, all right, even the son.
Locked him up. She locked up Aurora.
So yeah, I'm like, who are you doing it for? Like, for me as a parent, everything you do should somehow benefit, or at least be keeping in mind your kids, your family in general. So what do you even doing it? Like, it's like, I do it for, what is it, Allstead, whatever the name of the kingdom was, but it's like, what if your son's locked up? What does it matter if like all the peasants are fine? Like,
yeah. And she didn't want any like life outside of like the humans in the castle, so basically she just wanted the land. She was being,
it was just vengeful. Like, yeah, it was like, what do you even want the land for? Like, you just really like the forest. Like, you have no real intention of going to the forest. Like, I really want to go to the moors. Like, for what? Like, you don't.
Exactly.
This is weird. Yeah. So her deal was whack. It was similar to. Do you watch Game of Thrones? Or did you watch Game of Thrones?
I used to
Got
when I was up at school, and then when I moved home, I stopped watching it. Yeah.
It was some similarities, and like some of the like it was a lot of like the villains winning, and then obviously we knew it's a Disney film, and I mean any film for the most part show is going to end with the good guys coming victorious, but that was frustrating to watch. Movie make me hate humans. Which is just funny. Like, I'm like, man, I hate humans. And I'm like, wait, what am I even saying? Like, I mean, obviously I am a human, but obviously fairies and stuff aren't real. But I'm like, man, I want to be a fairy after this. Like, they're pretty dope. Like, they're pretty, especially like whatever brand of fairy Maleficent was.
Oh, yeah, I want to be
one of those things.
Yeah,
those things were dope. Like I said, the mom was like clearly evil. Like, you could see that from the jump. Aurora was still immature. Mm-hmm. She was still. I was hoping to see her a little bit more mature in this film, but I guess for the story's sake, like the fact that she turned on Maleficent so quickly, like that was what got me. It's like, that's your mom, right? Like for all intents and purposes, that's her mother, and I feel like if my mom, even if she did something horrible, like even if it's just like, hey, we haven't proven it, she says she didn't do it, but it looks like she did something wrong. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Like, if for 19 years of my life, you've been, at the, I guess that's her age in this movie, but if for 19 years of my life, you've given me no reason to doubt you, and then all of a sudden you do one thing, and I'm like, you monster. Like, what? Like, that pissed me off. Like, I was like, come on, Aurora. Like, come on, you can't sell her out when the queen was clearly provoking her.
It's almost like the queen was brainwashing Aurora somehow.
Yeah.
And she was just trying to, please her because she wanted to be with Prince Philip. But I do agree that she turned on Maleficent very, very quickly.
It was too quick. I was like, I mean, yeah, she got pissed. Like Maleficent got pissed, and she's like, Maleficent, or Godmother, calm down. And I'm like, what are you talking? Like, the queen sucks. And obviously, a lot of that is just her love for Philip. Like, she wanted to be with Philip, who obviously we see as a genuine dude. But you can clearly see that the queen is just tripping. So like,
she was trying, like when she invited Maleficent to dinner. Yeah, she was just trying to push every button that she possibly could to get a rise out of her. And I was like, she's literally just asking for her to freak out and then cause a scene, and and then she's gonna spread another rumor across
the kingdom. That was frustrating, to watch that. I mean, we've seen movies like that before where it plays out like, the villain has the upper hand, but it's frustrating. I didn't see the angle with like the other Maleficents or the other like sky people. Like, I didn't see that angle coming. I did like it though. Like, I think it kind of reminded me of like when they're going through like the whatever compound that they have where it's like a bunch of different seasons, and for all of them, it reminded. Have you ever seen How to Train Your Dragon?
That's like my favorite movie.
Yes. Okay, we have talked about this. We definitely talked about this. I love How to Train Your Dragon. And I reviewed The Hidden World on here when it came out.
Such a good movie.
Such a good movie. It's that series. I can't remember where I placed it. I have to look back at my notes, but I said that's one of the best animated trilogies of all time. I definitely
it didn't get worse either.
No, they were all equally. I don't know if I have a favorite, but they were all equally as good to me. They were all very good.
I liked the first one, but I did like the third one a lot.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know if they'll make more. They don't have to. Like, I think it ended on a good note. If they did, I would trust it to them to do a good job with it, because like I said, it was really good. I don't think it gets the notoriety it deserves, to be honest with you.
I love that movie. A lot of people have never even seen it, and I'm like, you have to come over. I have all 3 of them on DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, like Toy Story is like my number one as far as like movies with 3 or more as far as animation. It's a classic to me. But yeah, I think How to Train Your Dragon is definitely in that top 5 for sure. I would definitely put it there. But anyway, I think that this took some pieces of that, like in the Hidden World when they go and they see it, reminded me of that when they're like flying through and seeing all the other fairies or whatever. Definitely reminded me of that, and her being like the alpha, same way with like the other Toothless or whatever. That definitely reminded me of that. So that was cool. I would have liked to see Aurora get like some more licks in. Like she needed to, like when at the end, obviously when she figures out that she's been like duped or whatever.
It took her so long.
I'm like, Aurora, come on! Like
Uh-huh.
the queen sucks. Like she obviously sucks. But when she like had the altercation with her in like the basement when she found the other fairies and everything like that, Aurora, punch her in the face. Like I need something. Like before she gets the guards to like before the guards got down there. Like that's a quick like 1-2 jab in the face or something. Like I don't something. You had to do something, slap or something. Lights went off. Let me turn the lights on. But go ahead. There we go.
Good.
We just had to move. But yeah, I needed her to do something.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it was that was annoying me. It was a couple parts that really pissed me off, and like I said, all in all, it was a really good movie. The kid that shot Maleficent.
Oh my gosh.
Is that a boy or a girl?
That's a girl.
Okay, it was. All right.
She freaked me out.
She was weird, man.
She was so
sucked.
weird. When she was playing, it's not a piano.
The organ.
The organ.
Yeah.
That was so creepy, and
it was super creepy scene, and she was like, whenever you see characters that enjoy chaos or just killing for just the sake of it, like that always makes me like.
She also, I feel like she stirred the pot too during the movie with the queen.
Yeah.
She stirred the pot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She was like
she enabled the queen.
Yeah.
Like she was just her little like henchman, and she sucked. Like I said, Aurora was whack for doing her mom like that. Like when she's like, that's not my godmother. I'm like, what? Like, are you serious? Like off of that? Like F the king. Like if it's like, here's the thing. Even if she did kill it, even if she did curse the king, like just because she was pissed, I still would have been like, all right, it's bad, but like they pushed her.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't have been a great look for Maleficent, but I would have been like, we can move past it.
She can reverse it.
She can reverse it. Yeah, she didn't kill him. Like if she'd have like decapitated him, like it would have been like, all right, that's a little much. But like still, that's your mom, man. Like that's whack. And it made me just think. For me, betrayal, I think, is like the worst feeling. I think the worst feeling that I could feel is, you know, for someone to like stab me in the back or just not stick with me, and I was counting on them. So that had to, like, I know Maleficent had to feel like, I mean, your daughter is like, no, no, I'm not going with you.
Yeah, she didn't even stand up for her either.
No, not even. She didn't say like, oh no, she must have, like, there must be a mistake or anything. It was just like, change them back. Like I'm like, you idiot. Like so that pissed me off. The death toll too. So there were way more deaths on the good side than on the bad side.
I didn't like how many
fairies,
fairies and
whatever Maleficent.
Yeah,
things,
whatever their creature is. How many of them had to die in this movie?
So many died.
I know.
Not enough humans died. So they showed the thing that really pissed me off is they showed the little fairy in the jar, like the dandelion fairy.
So cute.
They let him die, and that pissed me off. So I'm like, whoa! Like, I didn't think they were gonna. I thought something was gonna happen. Like they're gonna be like, wait, don't do it, and they didn't. They weren't actually gonna do it. I'm like, oh no, they actually killed him. So then that was like, whoa, that's kind of dark, Disney.
They let one of her fairy godmothers die.
Yeah, the blue one. That was the other thing. I'm like, you can't let the fairy from the original movie. You can't let her godmother die. Like you just can't. So I thought, and I didn't understand why she felt like she had to sacrifice herself. Like, why didn't she put a curse on the redhead girl? Like,
I thought she was just going up there to like distract her.
I did too. Like she was like, all right, girls, like I'm out. I thought she was. First of all, the redhead girl has no power outside of just.
Why didn't they? Can't they like turn the dust into like feathers or something?
I mean, you just think, all right, you have these three fairies that have all these powers. You're telling me the three of them could not come together to turn the girl or to something. I don't know, to turn the girl's hands into flowers. I mean, I don't literally anything. Like, how did they all of a sudden become powerless? Like, that's, I don't know, that annoyed me. And the fact that she had to die pissed me off. When the dandelion fairy and when the blue fairy died, I was like, okay, the humans can't take too many more W's. Like, they have to start taking
I was getting really upset, and then I was
too.
getting worried about all the fairies who were trapped in the church still.
I know.
I was like, somebody needs to go
Yeah, I
help
was like,
them.
yeah. I was like, we're not getting to them fast enough. Because at the rate that they were going out, they should have all been done.
Yeah.
The trees, I was like, that hurt me too. I love the trees. So that pissed me off. There were some people who I was like, they have to die now because, like the Rasta fairy, he died. So like he got like just filled with lead, and and which was awesome to see him like come in and like. So I knew Maleficent couldn't get shot again. I'm like, she can't get shot again here, so something's gonna happen. But he was awesome. Like he was just one of those characters that like we have to rally behind him. The Queen should have died. So I know they went the Disney route of, well, I'm not gonna say Disney route because obviously like
there were a lot of deaths.
There were a lot of deaths, and the king died in the first one, so he fell to his death. So with her, I'm like, she's the most evil person we've seen thus far, so she has to. I was like, this only right that she dies, but she didn't die. I'm okay with her turning into a goat. I'm okay with it. Like I'm like, there has to be something more than just.
I did like the fact that the dad said when they're like, we can turn her back, and the dad was like, only if we want to.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not turning. Like, I want her dead.
Yeah.
Like she was about to. Like she didn't kill him, but like she was gonna have you just in a sleep for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like she was all good with that. So that was, and yeah, when she whispered to him like, you wanted peace or something like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, she sucks. The redhead had to die. The redhead fell. I don't know if she died. She fell off that balcony. It looked like something that was like a neck break, but we didn't see.
I was just hoping it was, and I was going with that because she was killing way too many fairies in there, and I was not a fan of that.
I love that Maleficent brought them all back, though. Minus the blue one.
I know.
So like
She's
all the
flower though, she still had powers.
Yeah, she still was there, but like all the trees and stuff, they all came back, and it was like the blue fairy just, sorry, you're a flower. It is what it is. The redhead though, I will just say she died. For the sake of what we want to happen, she died.
I like it.
The black soldier should have died. He sucked.
Yeah.
He sucked big time. But he ended up coming around. But
at the end, he came around.
Yeah, he came around. But I would have liked to see him maybe, get popped or something like that.
Or injured.
Injured. Yeah. Maybe like he's permanently in a wheelchair or something like that. Like I wouldn't have minded that for him. All around, like I said, just not a fair death toll. Like back to Maleficent's kind or whatever they are. The bird people, they 3/4 of them died. Like most of their gang died, which is like if most of them died, that's not fair for how they have so much power, and you have these humans that, and maybe 2 humans died during that whole altercation. Like that pissed me off.
I would say more than 2.
It was more than 2, but it was the ratio was off.
Yeah,
the ratio was really off. Yeah, man, that pissed me off. I got a text, so I'm in the theater, right? And I got a text right when the Queen stabbed Maleficent. And I was so annoyed with the person who texted me because of nothing about what they text me. Like what they text me wasn't even annoying. I got so annoyed with the person because of that moment. Because at that point I was like, all right, I'm so pissed at this film. Like, I was like, it's a good movie, but like I really. And it might sound naive of me to think that they were going to kill the main character of the movie, but I thought it was maybe going to be one of those like she sacrifices herself, and then they still end up victorious. Aurora kills the queen or something like that, and then they have like this memorial of peace in the name of in the name of Maleficent, and this is the last film. So I could have seen it going that route, and if they went that route, I was going to be so mad. I was going to be pissed. But I am glad that did not happen, because like I said, I would have been really over Disney if that would have happened. I would have been really, really upset. So I was happy that didn't happen.
Yeah, I'm happy it ended the way it did, though.
Agreed. Yeah, I was just about to say, it was a really good movie. It was a really good movie. It's my favorite Disney live action behind Jungle Book right now. So Jungle Book was really good. They're making another Jungle Book that's coming up soon. Depending on how that second Jungle Book is, it will kind of determine where they fall in the ranking. Like, I don't know. Maleficent might be better than Jungle Book. I might put it above it, depending on, like I said, the second one.
Yeah.
But it's very good. It's a very good film. I think it's underrated. I haven't heard a lot of chat about it, and a lot of people who I've talked to have said that they haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Eric actually did say that he saw the first one and liked it. So. That is a point for him.
There you
also,
go.
yeah.
We gotta get him to see the second one.
Yeah, I told him, I said, hey, check it out, man. It's pretty good. It was somewhat predictable, but I think, most movies are. A lot of times movies get, I'll hear people say, well, it was really predictable. And I'm like, well, most kind of are. Like, once you watch enough movies and stories, because most stories have some aspects of real life in terms of, like, they're inspired by stories that actually happen. But I don't hate predictability. And there were enough twists and turns in this that it wasn't like I'm just sitting watching and it's just the same old thing.
Honestly, when they locked all the fairies in the church, I thought they were all going to die. I really did for a second, and
Yeah.
I got really worried because I was not going to be happy.
It was a lot of things I didn't see. I mean, we saw the queen was going to be evil. I didn't see Maleficent going off into like the distance and being like injured. You know, I didn't see that whole thing. I didn't see there being more bird people or whatever. That angle was different. Like I said, that was different. Them coming up with a way to like completely kill the fairies, like just straight up kill them, like not injure but kill. That was an angle I didn't see coming. I didn't think they'd kill Maleficent and then she'd come back. Like there was some things that I was like, okay, that's a little different. I didn't see that one coming. So like I said, it kept me interested. It kept me the entire time engaged. And I think if a movie can do that, if you have a 2-hour movie that can keep you engaged from start to finish, then you have to give it some credit.
Yeah, they did a good job.
So definitely that happy ending. People want happy endings. So people complain about predictability. Oh, of course she's gonna win, or like rom-coms sometimes they get flat because of course they're gonna end up together. It's like we want that. Like you don't want to see the heartbreak. You don't want to see like it's predictable, I guess, but whatever. They can make as many of these as they want, and I'll definitely go watch. I'll support. Like they make. I think it would be tasteful and fine with 2. I don't know if there's necessarily a third. They need to do a third one, but and they took 5 years in between, which was cool. So I don't know if they'll do it. She's getting older. I don't know what route they go with it. But I'd go see it. Like I said, they haven't given me any reason to doubt.
And they did leave it. They could leave it at 2, or they could add a third one.
They could. It's room. Like they didn't completely shut it down. I don't know what the outside threat would be this time. They could come up with something. Yeah. Obviously, same way I wouldn't have guessed what it would have been this time. You know what I mean? So we'll see what they do there. I wouldn't mind a PG-13 version. I know that's not going to be in store, but where it's like Maleficent and like they maybe like John Wick has a cameo and they're just like going around killing people. Like I wouldn't mind like
like her what she does in her pastime.
Yeah, it's like her taking out. Yeah, she's just taking out people who like invade the Moor.
Yeah,
like maybe we have another kingdom that now comes and wants to destroy the Moor like every other human, and it's just the Moor versus humans. Like I wouldn't mind that one. It was a lot of GOT Game of Thrones inspired stuff in this. I felt like, but then I took a step back and maybe just because that's the last like medieval thing I've watched, but a lot of medieval type.
I don't know. They had all the different worlds, and like the way I viewed whatever that was is like a nest. I don't know.
Yes,
like
that's a good way to put it.
It looked like a nest.
It was a nest.
But they had all the different like geographical areas in that one little nest. I was very surprised by that. There was snow. There was a desert.
That was odd. Yeah, so it was. Definitely took some aspects there. I felt a lot of GOT and like I said, How to Train Your Dragon inspired stuff. So we'll see. And obviously movies take from each other. What would you rank this on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would probably give it like a 9. I did like it. It did keep me engaged, and I'm a fan of Maleficent. I think Angelina Jolie did a really good job in 100%. That aspect, and everyone else. So I'll give it a 9.
I'd give it an 8. I thought it was really good too. I thought it was really good. I can't think of too many things. Like I said, there was a couple things that like pissed me off about the story, but not in a it was poorly written way, but just more like I want to see the good guys win every time type of deal. So I thought it was really good. I felt like this is worth going to see opening night. So I'd say if it's between this, usually the options I give is if you want to go see it opening night, $5 Tuesday, Netflix, or don't watch it all. I'd say opening night would be good. Your money's not going to waste if you go on the Friday it came out. So definitely go to the theater and check this out, especially if you're a fan of the first. Angelina Jolie, again, she did a really good job, and unfortunately for a lot of like animation or kids movies, and this one is kind of like a mixture of the two with the animation and real life CGI or whatever, they don't get a lot of like Oscar nominations and stuff like that sometimes. Like that I feel like they deserve, like it's almost like looked over. Same thing with like comedies and action films, like they get looked over just because it's that brand, but it's like that doesn't mean that they didn't do a good job. So I feel like Angelina Jolie should possibly get looked at for, I mean she just played it so well.
She does, and she like fits the character. Yeah,
I think some people, it's funny, I was watching an interview with them talking about how on set even how Angelina Jolie is just very like she's very like professional, like not strict, but just like to the point, like not saying too many words, things like that. Similar to Maleficent, kind of cold. and she was saying how around her children, very different. Like her children in real life, she's very like
Super
bubbly
warm.
and things like very warm. So she said Elle actually brought that out of her a bit on set, similar to the actual movie dynamic. So she was like, it was almost like she became a mother to Elle, in the process, and Elle feeling like, she was welcomed, by the other women on set and things like that. So I think that that's kind of cool too, to see how that dynamic kind of mirrors what's going on screen. And again, I think that it just fit perfectly. I think, you see some of those roles where you're just like, wow, you're made for that role. Like a Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. You know
who else I think perfect is Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean.
100%. Yeah, he was made for that. Like he was born to be a pirate. Like, you know what I mean? Like he was
that's
born
like
to be
I can't, like, when you say Johnny Depp, that's what I think of him.
100%. Yeah, he was made for that. There's certain characters and certain roles where you're like, wow, that person like completely embodied that character. So yeah, it was really good. Movies that you're looking forward to. Or movie, I should say. So
I was actually telling Katie this today.
Okay.
I love going to movies early to see the previews. That is like my favorite thing to
Me too.
do. And I was talking to someone because I was trying to figure out what movie time to go to, and they're like, "Oh, just go a few minutes later. Like the movie doesn't start until 25 minutes in." And I was like, "How dare you? Like neglect the previews like that. You have to see what's gonna be coming out soon." But there was one movie, I want to see the Ferrari versus...
Ford.
Yes, that movie looks really good. But I also want to see the Doolittle movie. Did you see that preview?
Yeah. So that's actually what I had down is my movie. So I'm looking forward to Onward just because the next like Pixar Disney movie. But Doolittle, I am excited for that.
I think he'll be a really good Dr. Doolittle. I was watching the preview. I was like, you know what? He might be made for this role. I think,
Robert Downey Jr., I think he adds... He's one of those people who he makes the character, like he makes, I guess just really just that, he makes the character. Like in Iron Man, he took a script and he embodied Iron Man. Like Iron Man is now synonymous with Robert Downey Jr. in that character where I didn't picture Iron Man like that before. So he takes some of these roles where, there's room for interpretation, and he really just makes them Robert Downey Jr. Like, he did Sherlock Holmes, which was really good. The first Sherlock Holmes, at least. The second one was iffy, but the first one was really good. And he just made it his own. Like, it's like instead of becoming Sherlock Holmes, he like made Sherlock Holmes Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
So, if that makes sense. So with Doolittle, I expect him to do the same thing. He's a fan favorite right now, obviously because of, Avengers and Iron Man and how iconic that was, and, how much of a following, how big superhero movies are right now. So this star-studded cast though, like Doolittle, did you see like when it?
Oh yeah, I saw all the people that were going to be in that movie.
Tom Holland, Rami Malek, Emma Thompson, Antonio Banderas, Selena Gomez, John Cena, Kumail, Octavia Spencer. And there's a lot of other people, but that just those names alone, I'm like, that's insane. Ton of people. I've always said this too. I don't understand when, and I'm not complaining. I'm excited about going to see this actually because I like all those people I just named. I've never understood when animated movies get, or even if there's like with this movie where there's CGI and obviously a lot of these voices are people that are going to be the the animals. I've never understood when you go get like really big names because obviously that budget probably has to be very high, and it wouldn't have made a difference if it was me. Like. I don't think there's any, and what I mean by that, not when I say me, I don't mean like literally me, but a kid, think about who's going to see this. Kids. There's not a lot of it. Like, I'll go see it as an adult, but like they're targeting it towards kids and families. It's a family movie.
I get that. I could see how it wouldn't be as expensive as you might think because, they're not actually on
that's
screen.
True. This probably is cheaper.
So it's not like they're the ones that are going to be on the screen. It's just the voiceover.
Right. That is true. Tom Holland makes sense. Things like Octavia Spencer, for instance. Octavia Spencer, amazing actress. As far as a family movie, I don't know if a kid or a family is more apt to go see because Octavia Spencer is the voice of the giraffe versus if it was Amanda Freed was the voice of the giraffe. I don't know if anyone's looking at the credits and now they're going to get an additional couple numbers in the box office.
Yeah.
So I guess that's more where my mind. Whereas obviously, if it's real people, you're gonna get more people if Octavia Spencer's in it because it's Octavia Spencer. But if she's just the voice, I don't know if that tips the scales. Selena Gomez, if kids see that Selena Gomez is his girlfriend in the movie or something, his daughter in the movie, versus her just being the voice of whatever a ostrich. I don't know. I just random. I don't know why I can't think of an animal right now. But I don't know. But anyway, excited for the movie for that to come out. That is all I had. Did you have anything else that you wanted to add, Amanda?
I'm supposed to give a shout out to Griffin.
Oh, shout out to Griffin.
Yeah.
I've never met Griffin.
You can meet him when the club opens.
Okay. All right.
Or just have before that. If we come out, I might drag him out.
Drag Griff. Bring him out. Shout out Griffin. Well, thank you everyone for listening, and until next week, peace out.